Have a look at this t-shirt. Look all the colors, the pattern, all the small details. It is a fantastic example of a very good design for DTG printing. Do you want to know how this design was created? Today is your lucky day. We got a special guest. Her name is Maggie, and she created this design, and she can tell you step by step how this fantastic design was created. Hi, it's Everson from DTG Merch. We help you with the two things that we are most passionate about: DTG printing and t-shirt design. And if you are new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Good t-shirt designs are the key in order for you to be successful with your DTG printing business. In this video today, we will talk with Maggie, who creates this design I showed to you before, and she will explain step by step how this design was created. Make sure to stick with us until the end of this video, because Maggie will share 3 bonus tips that will help you to create better graphic designs. Now it's time to meet Maggie. Hi Maggie, thanks for joining us in today's video.
Thanks for having me, it's a pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. I have a few questions to you about your design.
Sure.
Let's start with the concept. What's the idea behind this design you created?
Well, the main idea behind this design was to create something that shows the strengths of DTG printing. When you look at the design, what we have here is lots of different colors. We also have a few gradients. I don't know if you can see it here. And we have lots of little details. And that's something that DTG printing can do very nicely. So the idea was to create something that really shows what DTG can do.
Fantastic. Next question. How long does it take to create a fantastic design like that?
I think it took me around 14 to 15 hours.
14 to 15 hours. That's quite a lot of hours.
Yeah, my hand hurt a little, but I didn't do it at once, so it was good.
I can imagine, I can imagine. And the last question, let's talk about the tools you have used to create this design.
Well, the whole design I did on the iPad. I have an older iPad Pro, I think it's the 2nd generation, the 12.9-inch model. Then of course I used the Apple Pencil, and the whole design was done in Procreate, which is by now my favorite program to draw t-shirt designs. Want to see how I did it?
Of course, so let's have a look at it.
So let's start with the first step, the sketching. I usually start with a rough draft. Usually I only have a vague idea of what it is that I want to draw. So I just start sketching, I add elements as I go, and I just refine the sketch several times during drawing. So it happens a lot that I erase parts of my sketch and just draw new ones again. And after repeating this for several times, I usually end up with a rough sketch that I like. Unfortunately in this video I cannot show you the drawing in real time, which would take way too long, so I will speed it up for you. But I will create a time-lapse draw with me version and upload it on YouTube as well. You can find the link below, and I will also link it up there in the corner. The next step, step number 2, is inking. Now it's time to turn the sketch into a clear outline. And I also add some more details to my sketch, like the pointy ends, like on the feathers that will make it look more sharp, and also some shading. Once this step is done, I move on to coloring. I wanted this t-shirt to show the benefits of DTG printing, so I included lots of colors and lots of details into this design. So this step really took me forever, especially since I included so many colors and gradients, especially those little patterns I added inside the design took me forever to draw. This step was also a little bit challenging because I only have 16 layers available. The t-shirt design is quite a large canvas, and Procreate, the larger the canvas, the less layers you get, so I had to find a clever way around this limitation. I usually create a color palette of some colors that I want up front, and then use them within the design. Once I'm done coloring, it's time for the final touches, which is the last step, number 4. In this step, I just clean up the design. I look for any little parts in the coloring that have been missing. I add some background elements. I add a border around the design so it's easier to see. I add some decorative elements like the splatters, and I added the background element, which I created a brush for. I also made the background fade to transparent. And after 14 hours of drawing, my design for DTG printing is ready. I just export it as a PNG with transparent background from Procreate, and then I can directly send it to the printer. So as a bonus, here are 3 more tips that can help you create t-shirt designs. Tip number 1. Design in RGB. Don't fall into the trap of designing with CMYK when you want to do t-shirt design. If you use CMYK, you usually limit yourself from colors that DTG printing could print. But on the other hand, you have to be aware that RGB will use more colors than your printer can print, especially when it comes to bright reds and blues and greens. So you have to be a little bit smart about this. So don't use like neon green or colors like this. If you decide to use them, then be prepared that your colors will change when they print. But generally speaking, the printer will always try to match the colors as closely as possible. Bonus tip number 2 has to do with Procreate and the limited layers that you get when you design large canvases. If you run out of layers, then separate the steps of sketching and inking and coloring on different documents. For example, I would go back to the gallery and copy my design, and then check the new one, merge all the layers together, and then start drawing on top of them. If necessary, I can add all the different layers together in Photoshop at a later stage. And tip number 3, which is one of my favorites, I usually use guided drawing to mirror the design. As you can see when I draw, if I draw on the right half of the canvas, it immediately adds the same thing on the left half. So this saves you a lot of time in Procreate.
Fantastic, huh? I personally could watch someone draw like that for hours and hours. And now, if you are ready to design your own t-shirts, then check out the video linked on screen, where we talk about 7 software options and apps you can use to create designs. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you in the next video. Ciao.